I had to stop in my tracks and show you the price tag on this thing. And then I'll tell you what it is. Check it out. $99 for three things. Creeping Jenny, which you can buy for $5. Purple Heart, which you can buy for $5 or $6. Elephant Ear, which you can buy for 99 cents as a bulb. Those are three plants that are in this planter for $100. And this is too simple and easy and inexpensive to make. It's pretty, but it's not $100. Since I mentioned that it was 99 cents for an elephant ear, I thought I'd prove it by showing you the result of a bulb that I purchased for 99 cents. Year before last, no, it may have been last year. It was last year. And it has since then began to spread because underneath it too has more of a rhizomes root system. So it will pop up new plants from underground. But I just thought, let me just show you what a 99-cent bulb can do for your life when you have patience. I just got to walking through the back garden and I went, oh, wow, I have a very similar combination. So in this example, I have some old faux terracotta pots. They're plastic. I got them from Home Depot years ago. Not much more than probably under $10, most likely. And in this pot, I transplanted some canna lily, and in their pot, they had an elephant ear. And the elephant ear and the canna lily, in my example, act as the thriller. So there are three components to a planter, if you have not heard this before, and that those three components consist of a spiller, which means something that would spill over, and then you have a thriller, something that is tall, right in the center, and then you have a filler. And in this case, I'm using the Purple Heart as the fillers, and I'm also kind of using the moss. That's probably not going to be the spiller that I want it to be. It's just growing really slow. And I think in this case, it's because it's not getting enough sun. But back to my point, this is not a $99 planter. It is not worth spending that type of money on. And another thing, that was an annual that we saw for $99. Annuals do not come back. In most cases, they do not, unless you're in really, really warm climates like a zone above 8A, probably 8B and 9 or 10, then your annuals will come back in warmer climates. However, in this case, I have perennials filling these planters that I love. Look how beautiful that yellow is. Oh, that's stunning. So my thriller is my lily, the canna lily. And I actually do have an elephant ear that I transplanted, tucked in there. I don't know if it'll grow. I kind of packed in that, the root system there. But in the back, I have the Purple Heart, the same thing that they had. I could bring more around and let it act even as a spiller, but I'm not going to. But I just want to show you that real quick, how you can take something you already have from your garden. If you have canna lilies, you know that they spread, dig them up, put them in pots, move them around. And especially the Purple Heart. This is the easiest thing to transplant in the world, in my opinion. Let me show you how easy it is. I did this for my neighbor. Okay, that's a plant. If I leave that there, it will root, it will fill in this entire area over time. And when I say over time, I mean in a season. It will not take that long. I do not want it to do that. The one thing about the Purple Heart, and I'm going to put it here and allow it to grow right there. The one thing that I've learned about Purple Heart, once you put them in the ground, they have rhizomes as roots. The root system will grow from left to right, from east to north to west, and they pop up new plants. If you're okay with that, great, go ahead. It is not the easiest thing to remove from soil. It is doable, you can dig it up, but it's a lot of work and almost feels impossible at times. I've had to put cardboard on top of one area that was about a 6 by 6 area, a large area that was full of them. It was beautiful, but it was just too much. So the only way I could get rid of it is I covered it up and I left it covered literally for over a year or more. And it killed off the majority of it because it could no longer get the sun that it needed to be happy. So, but even still, I see some that pop up every now and again. All right, so by the way, ignore my grass. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. And when you come back and you haven't done any maintenance, it is incredible how much things have grown with the rain that we've had. And I had to come over here and show you, for example, I think in the last video, just a little over a week and a half ago, my Turk's cap had one flower on it, and now it's spilling over into the pathway. So I'm going to come in and cut that off. But look at those beautiful red Turk's cap flowers, which are humming bee magnets. Oh. But let me go to another planter I wanted to talk about. Cut through here. I wanted to show, oh, it's a weed in here. I love this purslane. Now I showed this purslane about a month and a half ago. All you could see was dirt in the planter. It was a little tiny pint size that I popped in. Get out of there. There we go. I got the root of it. I mixed it in, the purslane in with this beautiful, beautiful purple lantana. Very strong smell, by the way. If you've never smelled lantana, it's extremely strong. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. But purslane, in case you didn't know, a couple of things. It is edible. I have not eaten it. I have not tried it. I did say I was going to put some in a salad one day just to see. And I will do that. The flowers open up during the day. The more the sun, the more you see the flowers blooming, and they close up at night. The lantana is the total opposite of that. But I wanted to get over here and show you what's growing in the ground that I didn't plant. This purslane is from a previous year where I had it planted in the same little spiller planter. And the seeds have dropped and it created this plant here. Now, I've pulled it up a few times, but a part of me is like, it's such a pretty plant. I'm just gonna let it go. You know, some people may think it's a weed growing, but I kind of like it on the rocks. It doesn't bother me. Let me get through here. But I love this little planter. I just wanted to show you that, how quickly things can grow when we're patient. When I first put that in there, it didn't look like anything at all. And I thought, oh, that's gonna take forever. But here we are. Let's talk about big leaf begonias. Isn't that magnificent? This started as a pint size, very small, that was placed in this pot back in March. It was pretty thin in this pot. You could see all the dirt. I only have 3 plants underneath this shrub. The sweet potato vine, which I rarely grow anymore, it's been a few years, I popped in and it's starting to sprawl out on the opposite side. So I have a big leaf begonia, a sweet potato vine, and a coleus. And it has filled in this entire pot, as I knew it would. You have to be patient. It's really hard when you're first putting things in pots because you want it all right then and there with instant gratification. That's how I roll. But sometimes you just have to be patient and the beauty will come. This is actually 2 pots. I have the wintergreen shrub in the center, and I have the same combination with the sweet potato vine, the big leaf begonia, a coleus, but I did pop in just 1 vinca there. On the other side is a kaleidoscope shrub that I planted last fall, and I added in just a purple sweet potato vine, and they're just doing amazing. I had 2 pots with them the same way, identical on the other side. So I just wanted to share the big leaf begonias because I have declared this is my favorite annual plant for the season. And look how beautiful that looks up against, even with the blue. I have reds and blues and purples, which I would have never thought to do that combination, but it seems to be doing fairly well right now for me. And so, in fact, I put a pot on my neighbor's side. So when I walk through the gate, oh, look at here. We have a little Don Juan starting to already bloom. I planted this about 30 days ago. I know I've grown Don Juan before. It will get over to the top of this trellis. But my neighbor, I put in a pot for sweet potato vine and a red canna lily. It's not getting full sun here, but it does get some sun, which is probably a good thing because there's not a watering system over here. I have to come hand water it. But that's okay because it's not going to get scorched, and it is included. Now, it's interesting because the red canna lily can probably use a little bit more water than some of its roommates in this particular pot. Sweet potato vine, they get a little thirsty sometimes. You have to keep them damp. But the Mystic Spire's blue, it is more drought tolerant. So I have this odd combination there when it comes to water requirements. But for whatever reason, the red and the purple is really working for me this year. I am, ooh, a dahlia. I've never grown dahlias. So I'm waiting there. I see a bud that's on the way. If I remember correctly, it is a dark purple. So I do have some really tall zinnias that should be coming through if they're getting enough sun, and those are red if the package does me right. Sometimes you'll buy something and the package has one color, but it turns out to be another. But that was it. I just wanted to show how much in love I am with the big leaf begonias right now. These are in the front of my house, and I'm glad they turned out as well as they did because unfortunately my carex really is struggling this year. Now I can cut that back. I just haven't done it. This one looks really good. But it is one of those items that I still would buy again. I still would recommend. We just had an unusual hard freeze that damaged these, I believe. But I see new things popping through, like the elephant ear that's tucked in that pot back there with the hosta and coleus. This color coleus is just stunning. I love that. Oh, it's so pretty. But my coleus do well in the ground and in pots. Now, those are the same two coleus that I planted on the same day. One is on the ground, hasn't gotten very large. The one in the pot just took off. You just never know sometimes. Coleus seem very happy in pots for me. And I have them popped in at this location. Usually gets really huge if it's a part sun coleus. And hey, it's going to be there through the fall. My ferns look amazing. I've never planted ferns in the ground before, and I don't remember the variety of fern that this is. I'll look it up. I have to put the name on for you because it's not your traditional hanging basket fern, and it's doing really well. So that's it. Just want to talk big leaf begonia for a moment. I am in love. My favorite annual of the 2023 season.